The topic is clear. You just mentioned that. We are, of course, on a path, on a very intensive path towards a very large reform, the largest reform ever, actually, to our European Union asylum policy, migration policy, the Pact, the famous Pact on asylum and migration. And today, with today's proposal, we are delivering another key element, I would say, of this pact, of this asylum and migration pact. The pact altogether, as you know, it's a milestone. I would say it's a huge reform. It's not perfect, of course. Nothing is perfect in that respect, but it is something we have in our hands. It's a very, very good basis for this reform. There were some missing pieces, of course, as well, like the returns regulation, which we presented, the safe third country concept, safe country of origin. So a lot of missing pieces, 3 missing pieces, which we already presented and which are now under discussion in Parliament and the Council. And I always say, because I said the pact is not perfect, but it is something we have, and it's always better to have 70% than 0%. So that's why it's really important to implement this pact. And what we present today, the annual migration management cycle, and the cycle is really important and is a very important step on that. And with these reforms altogether, with the pact, with the returns regulation, with the safe third country and safe country of origin, we are sort of getting back control also over what is happening in the European Union. And these reforms, of course, are badly needed, I would say, because we are aware of the frustration also, which is there, and also a sense that our rules are sometimes being ignored by some people. So these reforms are really key and important to restore trust on the one hand between the member states also, but also by EU citizens. And this is exactly what the reform is about. It's about restoring trust and restoring control also over what is happening. And we see this happening actually in real time, which is very positive. And just to give you another very important example and very important part of the pact, about 1 month ago today we successfully launched the entry-exit system. Why am I mentioning this? Because the entry-exit system gives us also the information who comes into the European Union, when, where, and who leaves the European Union, when and where. This is important, and it was very successful in the beginning. In the first month, actually, we already registered over 4 million entries and exits, and almost 3 million third country nationals, which are now registered, which is a very good sign, of course, and a very good part of the Pact implementation. Because, as I said, we know now who comes and who leaves the European Union. And today, we take another very important step down this path by launching, as I said, the first annual migration management cycle. But maybe a few words on the report also, on the annual asylum and migration report. I would say the momentum is on our side at the moment. The illegal crossings into the European Union are down by 35% this year. And this is a result of the work we've put in with our international partners also, agreements with third countries, working along the migratory routes outside our borders. And this approach is working, and I think we must continue this approach, of course, as well. And the report also shows that member states are making very good progress in implementing the Pact by June next year. As you know, it has to be implemented by June next year. And we will, of course, support the member states to make sure that everyone is ready by then. And now coming to the launch of the annual migration management cycle. Our assessment, the Commission's assessment, is fact-based and reflects the figures we have seen over the last year, and it is the starting point actually for having a European approach to migration. One approach that ensures that no European Union country should be left to face the heavy pressure on their own. We are working together on that, and in one way or another, everyone, all the member states, will benefit from the Pact. And with today's proposal, we quite ensure that responsibility and solidarity are advancing together. They have to advance in parallel, of course. A sort of symmetry that lies at the center of the Pact also. And with the solidarity mechanism, we will have a balanced system of support, where it is of course, then for the member states to decide what their contributions can be. The determination of who will have access to solidarity in the first cycle is also included in today's proposal. It follows the methodology of the Pact, which is set out in the Pact. And overall, I would say the results reflect, in general, three major trends. First of all, the pressure of illegal crossings along the Mediterranean routes. Secondly, the support member states have shown to Ukraine in form of the temporary protection. And thirdly, the challenges of strained reception systems, or also the threat of weaponization of migration. But I would like to make one thing very clear. All member states are feeling the pressure from illegal migration in various forms, in different forms. And today's proposal is only one part of the reforms under the whole Pact, as I mentioned before. And our focus now must be keeping arrival figures down. That is important. Secondly, stepping up returns of those who have no right to stay in the European Union. Thirdly, agreeing on the proposals for new rules on return, as I mentioned before, the return regulation, and also the safe third country and safe country of origin proposals and concepts, and also, and that's another important step, because the first three steps are all to bring our European house in order, and we also have an external dimension, of course, building partnerships with third countries that align with the European Union strategic interests. So thank you very much, and I'm very happy to answer at least a couple of questions.